I'm your host, BrightLearn, and today we're tackling a topic that might not be on your radar yet, but it should be. It's a story about government overreach, small businesses under siege, and a fight for our constitutional rights. So, grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into the Corporate Transparency Act, or CTA, and the battle to stop it in its tracks. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the CTA? Well, let me break it down for you. The Corporate Transparency Act is a federal law that requires small businesses, nonprofits, and other small entities to report extensive personal information to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, which is part of the U.S. Department of the Treasury. This includes details like driver's license numbers, birth dates, and home addresses. Sounds pretty invasive, right? But here's the kicker. This law doesn't apply to large corporations, banks, or hedge funds. Nope, it's specifically targeting small businesses and local organizations. Think about it. Your local soccer club, your neighborhood church group, or even the small business you run out of your garage. These are the entities being forced to hand over sensitive information to the federal government. And this isn't just a minor inconvenience. According to Andy Schlafly, General Counsel of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, AAPS, this law affects an estimated 32.6 million American businesses and organizations. That's a staggering number, and the implications are huge. As Andy pointed out in a BrightLearn.com interview, this is essentially government surveillance of small businesses, and it raises serious concerns about privacy and the potential for abuse. Now let's talk about why this is so dangerous. First and foremost, the federal government has a poor track record when it comes to safeguarding sensitive information. Just look at the hacks that have occurred at the Department of Defense and other federal agencies. If these entities can't protect their own data, how can we trust them with ours? Andy highlighted this very issue, mentioning a recent hack of the Treasury Department, where FinCEN is housed. He pointed out that the hackers could be anywhere in the world, using proxy servers to mask their locations. This means that your personal information could end up in the hands of cybercriminals or even foreign adversaries. But the dangers don't stop there. As Mike Adams pointed out, this law is blatantly unconstitutional. It violates the Fourth and Fifth Amendments, as well as the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. The government is overstepping its bounds by forcing small businesses to comply with regulations that are typically reserved for interstate commerce. Despite these challenges, there is hope. Legal challenges have been mounted against the CTA, and there have been some significant victories. For instance, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has been at the forefront of this fight, achieving a major injunction against the law. This injunction was upheld by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and it temporarily blocks the CTA from being enforced. Andy explained that this injunction is a crucial step in the fight against the CTA. It means that small businesses and organizations do not have to comply with the law, at least for now. However, the battle is far from over. The government has appealed the injunction to the Supreme Court, and the outcome is uncertain. The case is now in the hands of the Supreme Court, with Justice Samuel Alito presiding over the Fifth Circuit. Andy expressed optimism about Alito's involvement, noting that he is one of the more conservative justices on the bench. Alito has requested additional briefings from both sides, indicating that he is taking the case seriously. As of now, the injunction remains in place, and small businesses do not have to comply with the CTA. However, the situation is fluid, and the Supreme Court could rule at any time. This is why it's crucial for concerned citizens to stay informed and make their voices heard. So what can you do? First and foremost, educate yourself and others about the CTA and its implications. Share this podcast episode with your friends, family, and social networks. The more people know about this issue, the stronger our collective voice will be. Next, contact your elected officials. Call, email, or write to your senators, representatives, and governor. Let them know that you oppose the CTA and urge them to support legislation that would repeal it. You can also support organizations like the AAPS, which are fighting tirelessly against this law. In closing, the CTA is a prime example of government overreach and a threat to our constitutional rights. It's up to us to stand up and fight back. As Andy Schlafly said, this law strikes at the heart of everything that is good about our country, particularly the spirit of volunteerism and community. We must protect these values and ensure that small businesses and organizations can thrive without the fear of government surveillance and intimidation. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of BrightLearn. I hope you found it informative and inspiring. Remember, together, we can make a difference. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting for what is right. God bless you all.
This has been a BrightLearn.ai summary of an interview between Andy Schlafly and Mike Adams on January 14th, 2025. The full interview is available at brighteon.com, where you can also find podcasts and special reports by Mike Adams and other creators. Visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage of this interview and breaking news on critical stories that will keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.